One of the things that's great about Conductor is how it can automate some of the Git stuff for you. So let's dive into that. I'll go to this project over here and create a new workspace. When I do this, I can see a chat pane open up over here. I can also see that it's running the setup script, so everything is installed nicely, which is good. There's a little file browser over here, and I also have my trusty little terminal down below over here. And again, the really cool thing is that this is now a separate workspace. I could start up another one, but when I do, everything that's happening in this workspace is going to happen independently of the stuff that's happening in here. So that's all well and good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to be making a massive change. And oh, I don't know. This is an old Git pod file that can go away. So I could tell the lm dot git pod YAML, throw this away. And let's see what it does. And there we go. A few tools got called. This is nothing too scary. Gitpod.yaml, that file's no more, that looks good. And what I can now go ahead and do is create a PR. Fun little detail, when I create a PR, we are temporarily using the HiQ model because you don't need a heavy model to describe what a commit is all about. So that's what's happening there. A few tools get called, but eventually a PR gets created. And when it is created, you're actually going to notice the top bar over here change. We can now see that PR 92 is underway, and we could go to GitHub to inspect it. And lo and behold, there it is. We can also see that the description is written by Claude. There's a file that's removed, so no surprises there. We also see that the unit tests are running, which is good. And it's actually these unit tests that prevent me from merging directly in the UI over here. We're actually waiting for the checks to be done. Then after a while on GitHub, we can see that the checks are all passing. And if I were now to go back, lo and behold, it's also passing over here. So that's cool. I could go ahead and press this merge button now if I wanted to, but let's do something a little bit cheeky. If you go up here, you can actually open up this workspace in your favorite text editor, and Conductor is going to make sure that all the paths are set correctly. And what I can do from here is just go to this test folder over here. And what I'm just going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to chaos monkey around. I'm just going to delete a few lines of code. There we go. So when I now go back to Conductor, I can indeed see that something uncommitted is in the mix. So let's just go to the terminal, git status, git add, and I'm going to call this commit oops so we can easily find it back later. I'm going to push it. And one thing that's important now is that even though I was using the terminal to make this PR, you are going to be able to see that on top, Conductor is able to pick up that the checks are rerunning and that we can't immediately merge anymore because of it. I can also confirm on GitHub that new tests are running and that there is that little oops PR in the middle there. And now we should see that these unit tests are gonna fail. And yeah, there it is. We see a failing test. Let's now actually go back to Conductor because now we can see the checks are totally failing and that the merge button that we might get here instead is now a fix errors button. I can click it, and when I do, we can see that this is added to the conversation. So we're asking to fix the failing CI actions, but the logs of a failing action are now also being injected on our behalf. And that basically means that the LLM has pretty much all the information that it should need to fix what is going wrong locally. And in this case, it's also doing a clever thing. Instead of immediately pushing, it is also running the unit test that was failing. I can inspect that by looking at the tools. That is always a good thing to do, by the way. At the end, maybe just look at the tools that ran, right? But now it seems that we have a couple of changes and I can hit this commit and push over here. We're now going to tell the LLM to commit and push all the changes. And if I go back to GitHub now, we can indeed see that, hey, we are fixing some broken tests. This is the new commit that I just had Claude add there. And we're going to retry running the tests. I'm pretty sure these are going to pass in a bit. But here you can see they were working before, then I broke them, and hopefully now Claude was able to fix all of this. And yes, it looks green now. Let me go back to Conductor. And also here, it definitely looks green. So I could now go ahead and hit this merge button over here. And as you can see, technically, I never needed to really go to GitHub itself. You can just do all of that from here if you wanted to. And yeah, everything seems to be pushed, committed, and merged, which means that now I can hit this archive workspace button over here, because the changes that were required have now been made. And there you go. Claude can really do a lot. But the thing that Conductor gives here is just kind of a nice flow user interface, one place to really pay your attention to. And you don't necessarily have to go to GitHub all the time. You can just stay in this one app. And yeah, there's a bunch of the quote unquote GitHub stuff that Conductor is maybe making a bit better for you.